hear us clearly now. It's
From
not
all
just,
angles.
yeah,
It's not just art.
It's not just crisp
Full
art.
blast.
And
Speaking of full blast, did you hear about Korn Koffe?
Korn Koffe?
what?
Like corn, like Freak on a Leash corn?
Yeah.
What about him?
They're making their own coffee line.
No way.
You didn't see this?
All day
I
I dream about a dark roast.
I like subtweeted or whatever you call it on our brand new Twitter account, and I was trying to come up with a joke about like all day I dream about something, but
Okay, yeah.
I wasn't that creative. But yes, this is an official statement from Korn, the bindman of Korn. After almost 25 years of touring, making records, and playing in front of all of our amazing fans (parentheses you),
Yes.
one thing has remained a constant in our daily routine: coffee. Korn, thanks.
Beautiful dark Colombian.
The
roasted.
ritual, the brew, the aroma, and most importantly, that very first cup every morning that sets the tone is something we look forward to every day. Because of our passion, we've gotten together with a roaster and handcrafted
Holy
our very own
crap,
blend
dude.
of coffee! All caps with a K.
Whoa.
We hope you enjoy, share, and join us in savoring many cups of coffee for years to come.
So that's the name of the company, Coffee with a K.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't want one unless each member of Korn took their dreads and dipped it
they like
into
steep
each
the
cup.
dreads
Yes,
in each
yes.
one. Get a little extra.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I'm down with that.
But you know what? I don't co-sign any Korn product not endorsed by Monkey.
Well, Head's the one that left. Monkey
Damn.
is the one that stayed.
Damn, I played myself.
Yeah. Dude, do you even know Korn, dude?
You're not allowed to drink this coffee.
Yeah,
I thought I
yeah, you stick to Red Bull, my guy.
Poor me. But
It's officially a part of the Durst Drinks lineup.
So
okay, so here's the thing, though. Talk about our age range a bit. I'm a few years older than you guys. When Korn came out, I was like, when they peaked, I was like 8. Y'all were tiny. So when
I have Korn's first album.
you do,
Released in '94.
like, was it burned?
No, I bought it.
You
I
bought
didn't bought it on release date.
out the
but-
womb, baby.
So your mom and pa took you and like,
No, I was like 16. I could drive.
wait, goddamn, and you were like, Korn, this is the way to
it was
go.
a strange time.
Yeah.
But why?
Good question.
Because that would have been 2010.
10
Yeah.
or 11. Yeah, 2010 or 11.
That would have been a bit. That would have been a bit late for me personally, because like I got into like metal and stuff in like middle school.
Yeah,
Like
but
sixth
even
grade.
then I feel like
Well, it was just
But even
different
even then
because
I was still late to it.
when I was driving, it was the first time I was like really listening to a lot of music. So I was just like picking up random stuff.
Okay.
And I really liked. I know it's kind of passe now, but I really liked the whole '90s thing. And I was like, oh, what are
Sure.
some cool '90s?
that's what I was getting at, like, because by then it was like its own thing,
Mm-hmm.
like by 2010. Whereas me, I like actually like caught them. I was even too young to really like get them at
Mm-hmm.
their zenith, but it was like. But I remember like all the older people I knew, older cousins, babysitters and stuff, and they'd be talking about Korn, and so I wrote Korn on my notebook.
Nice,
like
dude.
a loser.
Hell yeah.
But like, and I can say I actually did like Korn, you know,
I used to,
for
yeah.
a bit. But I'll say I never liked Slipknot.
I think I like Slipknot more than I like Korn.
Ooh,
Oof.
that's a hot take.
Well, I didn't listen to much of either, but I think if I preferred one, I'd prefer Slipknot.
Like, this is the first time I've ever said it out loud. I'd never listened to Slipknot because they scared me.
like the look,
Yeah.
oh man.
And like now I've gotten into like extreme metal and other shit.
What about like Gwar? Had you known about Gwar by that point?
Oh, I thought Gore.
But
was,
that's still like
was, like
showmanship.
Yeah. Yeah, Gore was a little
Slipknot
different.
is not showmanship necessarily. I mean, it is to a
It
point.
is, but
it's also like shock value that wasn't really that shocking.
Exactly, and that's what I was saying is like, because then when I was like, all right, and you know, so like that was like maybe when I was 8 or 9, I was like, ooh, this is scary.
Yeah.
And then like I'm like 13 and I put it in, I'm like, oh, this isn't as hard as I thought it'd be.
Okay.
Like Slayer's harder than that. Like,
Well, yeah, and part of the reason I was into like that kind of stuff when I was like 15, 16 is because it was dark and different, and it went against the grain of most of the people that I knew from high school.
Yeah.
And that was like
it was the grain once upon a time.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's I was very fascinated by that whole thing.
But
I would look up like Woodstock '99 videos and stuff like that.
But you know what? That is a unique time that deserves like some sort of discussion with respect and not just ridicule.
Well, I think the
You know?
2000s, conversely, deserve only ridicule.
Like
And
Early
speaking
2000s.
and speaking of deserving only ridicule, Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, we can talk about your dumb baby movie.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, we watched Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
Curse
The 2005 film made by Aardman Studios.
Was it
I
2005?
can't believe it's 2005 because I always just associated Wallace and Gromit with being like really old.
Well, it was, right? So in the 90s, that's when those individual cartoons were made.
93, the first big one.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the newest one would have been A Close Shave. There was like the robotic pants or whatever that one penguin
Robotic
does.
trousers.
Yeah, there you go. The
I guess I
robotic
associate it with being old because I think of like not Gummo, Gumby.
Oh, Gumby's
just
much older.
Yeah, I know,
Well,
but
but
just
not
like the
just-
style,
But not just that, it's the
the claymation thing.
and the tone and
Wholesome.
the setting and everything is old too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like watching this movie, I'm like, when does Wallace and Gromit take place?
Yeah.
Exactly. Right? Like all the cars and the settings and clothing is like 60s,
Mm-hmm.
70s, you know. The cars looking like they're from the late 50s, early 60s. You know, there's no cell phones, there's no computers. And it's like, where does this exactly take place?
How old is Wallace? I wrote that down. In my
How
notes.
old is Wallace?
I mean, he has to be about in his like 40s maybe.
That's what I kind of thought too, like late 40s.
he has no hair.
Yeah. He's still
He doesn't
like,
even have a head really. It's just eyebrows.
You would imagine he's young enough to still be like he's interested in, you know, like still be in the dating scene, and like
Pussy,
Lady
yeah.
Tottenham is pretty young.
Yeah.
Man, when that's the finest thing in your town, you got slim pickings, bro.
It's that or old ladies that grow watermelons.
My baby!
But yeah, so
But
Wallace,
how did you come across this movie, and why did it become so endearing to you?
well, and I think I mentioned in the last podcast, my mom actually had all of the VHSs of the Wallace and Gromits, like, and I watched those a lot, and I didn't know anyone else who even knew what that was. But, and that makes sense because they're like British claymation, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
and the tone and everything's even dated for
yeah, for
the
when
90s,
it came out, yeah.
right? Like,
Yes. Yeah.
So I remember that movie, or this movie in particular, when they started announcing it, I'm like, whoa, how is this still a thing? Because Chicken Run had come out, but I never put two and two together. I think at some point I'd been like, oh yeah, that's those guys who did that. But
Yeah.
I never thought that they would revive something like Wallace and Gromit. And you know, like in the mid 2000s, Aardman had their sort of like, I guess, renaissance,
Yeah.
if you could call it, because they released Chicken Run and then Wallace and Gromit and then another film called Flushed Away. Where,
I remember that.
Yeah, with the British rat.
I don't think I ever saw
yeah,
it.
he had a suit,
Yeah,
and he was voiced by
Hugh Jackman.
Was that around the same time as Ratatouille?
Yes.
So I
Yeah,
feel
it might
like
have
I
been, yeah.
conflated the two.
Yeah.
yeah.
And the thing is, like, I feel like it as a consequence of that, and this is unfortunate because I think they're really charming movies. I feel like to some people they felt like maybe that movie might have been a Ratatouille knockoff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
It's like, wow, similarly like cute rat movies
Yeah.
around
Right.
the same time.
To like the mom and dad who don't have time to keep up with movies. They're
Yeah.
like, okay, Pixar's got Ratatouille and DreamWorks has this shit
Exactly.
rat movie.
Yeah.
Oh wow, great job DreamWorks.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? So there are some genuinely good DreamWorks films that definitely do play second fiddle. I think to some
Ants.
Disney movies. Like
Ants.
no, Ants was Ants DreamWorks?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it
I have
was.
no idea.
Really? Huh.
Directed and written by Woody Allen.
Oh yeah, my favorite.
Okay.
Whoa.
No, but
Hey.
like this movie, which is actually the last DreamWorks movie of the specific studio. So like this is like the last production that they did with Aardman.
Right.
And I think Aardman started doing business with or started getting the movies distributed by another company.
Right, because they still made movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they did the one movie I don't like.
The Pirates one.
The Pirates movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie sucked.
Yeah. I have actually not seen that one, but
Yeah.
I haven't heard the most impressive stuff from it. But
It's kind of weird. Like, it takes place in the Victorian era. The pirates are out of era, so to speak.
Okay.
And they pick up Charles Darwin.
Okay.
And got a boner for Queen Elizabeth.
Okay.
And she's the villain.
Wow.
It's
Naturally.
Sounds like an interesting plot, though, when you explain it like that.
like, it's interesting. I'll say that. Like,
Okay.
you're definitely better suited than, you know, I was gonna say watching another Fast and Furious movie, but that's not true. Those are good.
Yeah, you're better off. You're better off watching that than Ratatouille or Chop Kick Panda. Have you seen those?
The Transmorphers.
Yeah, Transmorphers.
I know about Transmorphers. Yeah,
I was considering that being one of my picks soon, but now that we've mentioned, I want to spring something on y'all. Transmorphers would have probably been it. But anyway, Wallace and Gromit takes place in a quaint, small British town.
Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, definitely.
But it has a little tinge of like I guess it would be like Victorian era like werewolf vibes, obviously. But.
Yeah, and one of the things that I do like about the movie, and I think this is just like I said, there is some appeal to some adults because they do make some references to, you know, horror movies or to like that style of horror movies or monster movies.
Yeah, King Kong definitely.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah.
Not so subtle.
Yeah. There's stuff like and we'll get to this in more in detail, but like that scene when Victor Quartermain visits the vicar when it's raining after he finds out that Wallace is the were-rabbit. That scene is chock full of references. Like every single shot includes something that has to do with like monster movies and like monster tales.
like what? I missed it.
That book that they're reading from, and it's like little silly stuff like
that the priest has.
Yeah, that the priest has.
Uh-huh.
Like the name of the author who wrote the book is Claude Savagely.
Uh-huh.
Like, and you know, play on word, he was Claude Savagely from the Monsters. If you read the book title,
Claude Savagely. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know this author. I know that Quartermain is a reference to Alan Quartermain, which was a early 20th century pulp character, or late 19th century, and he's actually the hero who, in the piss poor adaptation of the graphic novel League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Sean Connery's character is Alan Quartermain, and he's an avid hunter and
oh wow,
yeah,
voiced by Ray Fiennes, by the way.
Oh yeah, Ray Fiennes.
He reminded me of just like every picture of like the British Raj you see, with like some guys wearing khaki hunting gear with a huge rifle next to like a dead elephant or something.
The bad guy in Jumanji look.
Didn't his like better looking brother like get killed by Tarzan? And that happened.
Oh yeah, that guy too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
Tarzan ran up and he broke his gun. Killed
he was trying to clap them gorilla cheeks, boy.
So yeah, the movie's about Wallace and Gromit, and they're a pest control company because
Antipesto.
Yeah,
I like
Antipesto.
It took
triple
me
entendre.
a while to get it.
Yeah,
Like it was a good
triple?
like 10 minutes after they introduced
the-
it.
it's anti-pest,
Yes.
antipasti, and then they're anti-pest.
Did you
What,
say
that's the
anti-pest
same
twice?
thing. Yeah.
Huh? No, anti-pest as in we get rid of pests, and
Yeah.
then
Right.
antipasti.
Yeah, like
Right.
the before the meal
Yeah.
Yeah.
appetizer, and then what's the other one?
You said anti-pest again.
Oh yeah, never mind.
What the?
Double. Just
Double.
kidding.
Okay.
I'm yeah.
Hey guys,
On record.
Hey, don't
Yeah.
put him as a ref because this
Yeah,
guy's
I know.
blind. Okay, he's like triple play.
Anyway.
You were the ref that gave Colorado the 5th down in 1990.
Oh no. But yeah, they run in the same way that also Hot Fuzz, this small town's entire identity is based off of this event.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it's the largest vegetable competition, right?
Yeah.
And then they start having, or we get introduced to Lady Tottenham. She's having a pest problem with rabbits.
Yeah, before we get into that, can I ask you guys, do you like the style of the characters?
I think it might be
Like separated from the movie entirely in quality. Do you just like the way it looks? Like the characters, not the backgrounds or anything.
I think it has a very specific look it sticks to, and I think it might be unfair for me to answer because I have nostalgia for that stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I have no problem answering that question. It's like, I think it's ugly, but I like it.
Really? Okay.
That's what I would say. I think it's ugly, but I like it. Especially, there were times when all the townspeople were together.
Yeah.
I was like, look at this bunch of ugly fucks.
I think it's
And it
ugly.
made me laugh.
I think it's pretty ugly too, but there are characters I like, and there are other characters that I just find totally off-putting.
Oh, yeah. But it,
Like Gromit is a good design.
Yeah.
I thought the other dog was really terrible.
Oh, it seems really out of place.
It doesn't.
okay, but here,
Philip the dog.
Yeah.
here's a great thing about the characters and everything. And I was wondering if you guys noticed. Did you ever see a frame and notice how you could see the finger imprints?
Yeah, you could see the fingerprints
yeah,
like
I
on the
did notice
eyes
that.
or the eyebrows and stuff
or
like
on
that.
the cheek or whatever.
It's so cool.
And
I was wondering.
and you see the little nose, and you know that this is actual clay
Yeah.
in claymation.
Yeah.
And you know that you could imagine rolling up the little Play-Doh to make Miss Tottenham's lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And so...
Their eyeballs at the very center,
Yeah.
they have pinholes because that's how they move them around. Like
Yeah.
they stick a pinhole and they like tilt it a little bit.
Right, and it's like I think that's really great, and so I think that the silly they don't look silly for the sake of being silly.
Yeah.
They look silly because they crafted
Their
them
clay. Yeah.
from scratch by hand
Mhm.
with limited technology in 19.
I was wondering
90.
about that, like trying to get the consistency down with making those characters move, and
Yep.
like I couldn't imagine like what an undertaking that would be.
There and the thing is, like, there are times where, or like, I feel like when you forget that that's happening, you get every couple minutes you get reminders that, oh man, yeah, this is clay, but you forget it every once in a while. And you're like, man, this is really smooth, and you don't even think about it. It's just like, this looks like a cartoon. This
Right.
looks like
And when I was watching it, I thought a lot about, okay, how does this look so much better than some of the claymation movies that I grew up with, right? So I'm talking about the Christmas specials, Rudolph, the various, I think Arthur Rankin Bass was the name of the production company that made all those. And of course, the Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare Before Christmas, James and the Giant Peach, you know, and
that movie scared me as a kid.
oh, that movie is freaky. And I came up with what it is. If you can imagine in your mind's eye, right, Nightmare Before Christmas, like a frame, or James and the Giant Peach, and then you can think of this. And I thought of what the big difference was, how they made it look so good. Lighting.
Yeah, I was actually wondering when I was like observing like the backgrounds and everything. I was like, okay, so they're doing like claymation and maybe like CG underneath or something.
They
Build sets.
Yeah.
I looked up like a behind the scenes featurette on YouTube, and they have like that castle that Lady Tottingham lives in is like 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
and
and
I was just wondering like how they got like the depth of field and the lighting's so good because
Yeah.
it looks life size in the way that all
Right.
the lighting interacts with everything.
And so also fidelity of cameras matter because they you're dealing with smaller cameras and what they can do. But also it's like, so if you imagine like James and the Giant Peach, them staying on top of the peach, that's just a fill light, right? That's basically covering the whole studio, right? Pause Wallace and Gromit, and you have 3-point lighting on every single face, just like as if it was a live action movie.
Yeah, I mean,
And I think that, along with the cameras, also little technology things like the fact that we can make LEDs so much smaller, so they use a lot of cool little lights.
Yeah.
At certain parts of the movies, all those things kind of roll together and make it, even though the technology, the base of it is the same.
Yeah.
That was available to the guys who made the Rudolph movies or the guys who made James and the Giant Peach, but I'm surprised it looked that good even in 2005, to be honest. Because when I saw like Coraline and Paranorman, I was like, oh, that's next level. And then this looks just as good, if not sometimes even better, because
what really stood out to me was just like the backgrounds.
Yeah.
Every
Right.
set was incredible.
exactly. It like, whereas like it looks great and not just spooky.
real, or like it's moving, so therefore it looks like it's a real thing. One thing also that adds to it is movement. There's scenes that look really incredible, like whenever the were-rabbit attacks.
Still couldn't get it.
Were-rabbit attacks.
The
were-rabbit. When he first attacks the church, and then the entire town is freaking out.
Yeah.
Like everyone moving at once.
Could you imagine
awesome.
coordinating
like,
that?
Oh my goodness! Like, and that's the thing. How do they do that? How do they know?
The consistency is the incredible part to me.
Yeah.
It's like both with the models themselves and then like not missing a frame.
Yeah.
Where someone makes a slight movement, like looking to the right or something.
And overall, I think that's what I found about this movie is like, maybe like Chris, I think, like it's just really corny. It's it's a corny movie.
Yeah.
But it's so enjoyable on the eyes, and just the base like joy of watching a cartoon, whatever that is, with the little cartoon character. Like, okay, so we were talking about it briefly before, but we didn't tell you. Who was your favorite character?
Victor Quartermain.
Victor Quartermain?
Yeah.
Okay. Who was your favorite?
I like Gromit the dog.
Grom's pretty
Oh, hell no. I like, what's his name? The Wallace Rabbit?
I did like
the Wallace Rabbit!
Changed mine.
Hutch.
That was good. When he would do this little thing with his hand.
Cracking cheese grommets.
I like it when it's revealed that like it's actually turning into him, and he says something like about cheese. He's like, "Oh my god,
this cheese is fantastic!"
Cracking bit of Wensleydale.
And he just has this glazed, stupid, joyous look over his fucking face the whole time.
He's like fixing this machine. Like whenever they find out he can fix stuff,
Yeah.
he's just slamming a hammer into things. He's just like cheddar.
That made me the happiest.
I want to get back to something you just brought up recently about like it's a corny movie, but it's just easy on the eyes, so it's enjoyable at least on that level.
Yeah,
that's part of the reason I wanted to do this podcast to begin with and look at movies not just as like entertainment really, but as like a project. That someone put a lot of time into, and that's how I saw this whole movie. It was like, oh my god, they had to do all these frames. Like, I just did like a little calculation. So assuming the movie was 85 minutes.
Yes.
So, and assuming they did 24 frames per second.
Yeah.
Okay.
They probably had somewhere between, in the final cut, 120,000 like different pictures.
Shite.
Man.
All edited together.
Oh, can you imagine the editor?
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like,
I'm just thinking about like doing all those little pictures on Adobe Premiere.
Oh.
Just like,
And what's so incredibly like why it still feels super quality is because if there are any, you hardly see any screens where there's one thing moving, or there's like, it never feels like a Scooby-Doo thing where they're standing still but one thing is moving, so they can
Scooby-Doo is a terrible
so they can
show,
drag out some frames and get some stuff out of it. It never feels like that. There's always movement. There's like the camera's moving, or the rabbits are shaking when they're like shaking in their kennels and stuff like that.
The rabbits are pretty great. Like where they all know just to do this and start beating their chest like a gorilla.
But yeah, like technically, what an undergoing for these guys. Like these guys knocked it out the park.
Yeah, well,
it looks.
Oh, go ahead.
And I remember from some of the first behind the scenes production like shit I ever watched was for the Nightmare Before Christmas on the VHS I rented, and they showed them and they spoke about how an animated film can take 2 years of solid production, and that
like
a stop motion movie like that one, I believe they said 3 or 4 straight years. And when you were talking about the chronology of the release of their movies, it seemed to be like in increments of 4 or 5 years, like as if
as soon as they were
what was
spend a
Chicken
year.
Run? What year was that?
99, I think.
No,
99 or 2000.
Yeah, it was probably
that.
99.
Yeah,
I don't believe. I'm saying 2002. There's no way.
It's 2000.
Yep.
Shit, I can't believe I remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like, and here's something I thought about you know how studios, they say they give you the budget, and it's like, I feel like we could get more movies if there weren't certain expectations. Like animated movies, I love animation, and I like 3D animated movies, but I don't want every single feature film that's animated to only be 3D animation. And I'm sad that we get less stop motion, we get less traditional hand drawn. And part of the problem is it's like they're not expensive movies, right? And they can make back their budget. This made $100 million. It was made on a budget of $30 million. But at the same time, as much I like Ray Fiennes a lot,
they didn't need him.
Exactly.
I couldn't even tell it was him.
Especially, at least he was a villain with plenty of flavor. The stupid thing was Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like,
what is your guys' deal with Helena Bonham Carter?
She sucks big fat fucking elephant fucking dick.
All right,
I don't like.
I
don't like. Is there any movie she's in that I like?
Do you not like? You don't like Fight Club?
I don't like her in Fight Club.
That too.
I like Fight Club.
No, I don't like Fight Club.
Really?
What?
I liked it when I first watched it. Now I think it's juvenile.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I like it though.
But it's
not. Yeah. People view it still today as like, oh, I'm really getting something out of this. But if you're getting something out of that movie when you're like above the age of 17,
you should have known this.
You should maybe think about some.
Yeah.
But I like that movie.
Yeah.
Based on that, still.
I like, and I will say this, like, I won't take away the first half of that movie.
Okay.
Yeah. The last bit, it's like.
Oh yeah, I hate the ending.
Whatever.
Okay.
But like.
But we can get off that.
Yeah, but I guess there's a lot of good things in it, but.
Yeah, I mean.
No movie she's in that I like.
Okay.
No,
Harry Potter?
Oh damn.
She was good in Harry Potter.
She was good in Harry Potter because I
role.
hated her.
Oh yeah.
She got. All right. So, but like things like that, it's like how much of the budget did it cost?
Yeah, to
get Ray Fiennes and Helena Bonham Carter, when animators are notoriously underpaid.
Yep.
And it's like, so they're like dying out there, like, ugh. Meanwhile, like $8 million's going to voice talent for them to just show up for like 2 weeks.
For a couple weeks.
And then like, oh, that was a sweet gig,
Yeah.
And then go off and drink tea or whatever they do up there. But I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was lovely. The things I liked, like Chris said, I really liked looking at the car.
Yeah.
I liked looking at the backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how you had the wall with those stupid eyes on his customers,
and
there were parts where he was talking, and then the eyes would be looking at him.
What are those machines called? Where it's just like one thing causes another thing. It's just like
Rube Goldberg.
Yeah, Rube Goldberg. I think so. Wallace and Gromit has always had that about it. Wallace is like this super brilliant guy, but he complicates stuff like that.
Yeah, like his alarm clock, getting him to whiff the block of cheese and
smack his head.
Purposely, he hits his head on the wall.
Or
that's such a funny little animated joke that only works in that.
Yeah.
Or like the bunny alarm thing is just some finger that pokes him underneath.
Oh
the bed.
yeah, I wrote down on my notes, most infuriating alarm clock. That would just be a fucking nightmare. I don't think that would wake me up. I think I just have a really bad dream.
I would break it once and then it would cease to function.
You stand on the bed and then drop on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think there were some really good just visual gags like that, and I think it.
What was the one with the nuts?
The may contain nuts.
Yeah, may contain nuts.
Yeah, and the thing is, it doesn't hit you over the head with jokes like that. I think.
But here's the thing though, is that even in its corniness, it's authentic.
Yeah.
Somebody's dad or grandpa who's an enjoyable fellow. It's that's better than your lower part of, say, the DreamWorks catalog.
Sure.
Where it's just gross out, fart humor.
Yeah.
I'd prefer even those little gags, even though sometimes
it's not hitting you over the head with it,
right? And even if they don't work all the time,
And the thing is, like, it's not lacking for stuff like that as well, because like, you know, there's little stuff like the name of the constable. His name is PC Macintosh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Like it's just really small, silly stuff like that.
I like the Nun magazine.
Oh, the nun wrestling. Yeah, that was
Nun
really
wrestling.
Good. I like the. I think my second favorite character is either the vicar or the police officer. I like that scene when he's just like, "Yes, this was awesome." Like,
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. He's like, yes, someone awesome around. This is one of you.
That was the old man talking to the police officer.
No, it was the police officer
Yeah, it was
saying
the
that.
police officer.
I'm pretty sure.
He starts like pointing the stick at people, like
Yeah.
blaming them.
Austin around.
I like the fact that the vicar has this like chest of like oddities and stuff like that. He's got like runes and golden bullets.
Yeah, he did have runes. I saw that because I was thinking, I was like I like looking at all that stuff. Like I just got done listening to the audiobook of Salem's Lot like today, so all that shit's really fresh in my head. And like I've also been rereading H.P. Lovecraft, and
What specifically?
recently what started is I read the Shadow over Innsmouth, and then I was reading Dagon, and then I'm reading what's it called? The Whisper in the Dark. Yeah, but like I love old horror movies. In fact, I'll get to it later, but it's October.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, and I took the German language pass.
Ooh.
Give that to my homeboy Chris to hit us with next
nice.
week.
Thank you.
Nice.
Jeez.
And,
My heart was racing.
Yeah, and but yeah, I got some things. But let's talk about it a little more.
Yeah. I wanted to
The
bring
Wally
up,
and the Grommy.
we were talking about visual gags and how that's like such an animated like focal point, I guess you
Yeah.
would say. Well, what I was thinking during this movie is, did this, like, the mark of a good animated movie or anything like that is, did it need to be animated?
Yeah.
Would it be possible to make this movie in another medium? Does it exploit the medium to its fullest potential?
Right.
So what do you guys, what's your take on that?
Okay.
Because I don't think I could come up with an answer, honestly.
I think
I was asking myself the whole movie, I was like, is this the best way to do this movie? I don't know.
I think it is because there's some stuff that they did that would look horrible in CG. Like
I agree.
Some of the
Yes.
most impressive stuff in that movie is claymation visual.
Okay.
Like Wallace turning into the rabbit is
Yeah.
incredible. Like
Yeah.
how they did that using clay was amazing. Like that stuff. Like I remember I was in awe when I saw it.
I do
the
wonder
first
though
time.
if they utilized any CG assistance.
Oh, they did.
They did.
I mean, yeah, like for
Yeah.
some stuff for sure, but like with the animation, like tweening
specifically.
specifically.
Stuff like that. They wanted to make it look like it was just clay.
You're right, yeah.
So not stuff like whenever
When he turns
Wallace
back into Wallace,
or like whenever Wallace has the the mind waves or whatever.
yeah,
like,
Yeah.
that's CG.
yeah, that's clearly
Yeah.
I just wonder if they
I
did
think
any,
something
like,
that they
masking
might do
techniques.
is, okay, so say when you're doing something with them having some motion, right? They might like do some stuff with the backgrounds to like move them along to like kind of blur them and make
Yeah.
them go quicker. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Scroll along. I think those are little things they do. They might like add little artificial lights and stuff. Just things that would help out, that are like free almost, but don't compromise
Exactly.
the aesthetic. But what you were saying is like, okay, does it need to be animated?
Well, I mean specifically claymated.
Okay,
too.
yeah, because that's different. Because yes, absolutely needs to be animated.
Yeah.
You can't have
Wallace
Wallace and Gromit. Yeah. With it being, I think so, in a way of like, so we were talking about how the characters are ugly but lovable, but also that they're ugly because you can only make so much detail when you're sitting there with your Play-Doh, right? When they were originally made. So I think that it really sells it, and it also adds something special to it, such as the weight. So I don't know about you guys, but a big complaint I have and other people have with CG and movie when it's poor, especially maybe not Marvel, but like a DC movie especially, and some Marvel movies, is that nothing seems to have weight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It seems totally detached from everything else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just
Even the best CG, like the best CG animation, like specifically, like there's CG that's so good you don't notice it, like backgrounds and stuff.
Well, stuff
but,
like stuff like the newest Avengers, I think they're getting to that point where they're doing a pretty good job
Thanos'
of it.
face
I haven't seen
was
it.
pretty tight.
Yeah.
But like to me, like the best stuff isn't even that. It's when like you keep certain principles of like Toy Story, right? So they didn't overwhelm you with all this action and buildings crumbling. But when Woody hit the bed, you know, it's something simple. They made sure the sound design was right. That you know you kind of understood it all. Like they didn't overcomplicate things.
It's the same reason why something like Roger Rabbit would look like shit if he was 3D.
Oh my God, you're right. But say with this movie is like when when things fall apart or go crazy, it's like you can feel it.
Yeah.
Well, and you can feel it because of their real objects.
Yeah,
interacting with
and it
like,
also feels
real
great
things.
because it's like I feel like I'm in a set with a microscope with a tiny camera just watching this like whole thing play out. You know, like I was playing with my toys and they were just coming alive. Like it's pretty wonderful. So it definitely has that unique thing, but as far as just serving the story, maybe not necessarily.
It would have been a considerably worse movie.
But it wouldn't have been Wallace and Gromit.
It wouldn't have been interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. Is there anything?
Do you think then, as these movies more of a like technical performance as
To
much
me
as they are a
personally,
movie?
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I find it like a really incredible piece of like a project somebody did. Like storytelling, I mean it's viable. Yeah, sure. But just to me under the microscope is like this is a really impressive thing and I enjoy it on that level more than anything else, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I definitely liked it on the technical aspects, but I also enjoyed it as a cartoon.
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah.
But like that wasn't like the reason
as a cartoon, no disrespect, not really. Did it work great as a feature film?
Groundbreaking, yeah.
No. In fact, I think even though I liked watching it for 80 something minutes, like could it have been a short film?
Yeah.
And pretty much like be like I'd be the same for it, you know?
Sure.
But yeah, it was good. Could have used Mel Gibson though. I know a lot of people aren't saying that, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here that they need to bring back their
Like just in general,
with
like...
Mel Gibson, and he would have made this.
Just
better.
imagine like his face being like put into the set, like just full
Oh.
size, just looming over, like the moon in Majora's Mask.
just descending
with his alcoholic veiny
Impacting.
nose and
then
swollen eyes.
After that, like they bring back Tim Allen as the rooster.
Oh no!
As the rooster from Chicken Run.
I don't know, man. These are some suspect names we're throwing around.
Make the call, baby.
But yeah, I wanted to share this piece of like I guess just lasting this lasting thing from my childhood because like I said, I watched a lot of these things whenever I was little. Like my mom had quite the VHS collection of like not exactly Cartoon Network cartoons. You know, I watched a lot of
high
old,
quality stuff.
Yeah, like well, and not even just that. Like I watched a lot of old like you know Looney Tunes when I was growing up and like Max Fleischer stuff.
Also, shout out to Danny's mom, writers of Bert, How to Train Your Dragon, season 2.
Man, she's into it.
Coming soon.
Yeah, she's really into How to Train Your Dragon.
But like that's a mom thing. My mom got into cartoons too.
Yeah.
Like with all his kids, like she'd step in and watch Dragon Ball Z, be like, "Oh man, what's all Goku's up to?"
But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Even just from even if it's just from a technical standpoint.
It's not
like,
just from a technical.
yeah,
no, I know, but like even from just that.
Yeah, I liked it as a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like I said, the things that I think about is like just how I guess even this isn't Hollywood. I guess I guess DreamWorks, if they help produce it, is Hollywood. But it's like just thinking that they underpaid the animators. Maybe they didn't. This is a problem with not every studio, and that like they needed to spend however much they spent on Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah.
And Ray Fiennes is like, but like I don't know, it was really funny, especially the things that were dopey and cartoony.
Yeah.
The rabbits, the Ray Fiennes' Quartermain, just want to be like, meh.
Yeah.
He's like, I need to pay.
Yeah, I like that stereotype a lot.
My toupee. He was an awful fellow, but yeah, man.
Yeah,
was
I'm
fun.
glad you enjoyed it. It's I wanted to take a. I wanted
It's
to take
something
a,
different. The first time I saw Lion King, I was like 17.
Whew.
Damn. What'd you think?
Nuts.
It's a good movie,
I think it's an alright movie.
but like
Hey, it's no
I
Hercules.
kind of
It's no Hercules,
I missed
honestly.
the boat on it.
Yeah.
So
In my opinion, it's no Hercules.
What's better, the music from Lion King or Hercules?
I don't know either.
I would say that the music from Lion King is more iconic, but I think Hercules took such a cool spin. Like the idea of mixing Greek and like gospel is really cool. Like and I think
I was gonna
that's what I like it
say what I like more in Hercules is the theme. Hercules' theme, I really like, and how it builds and it's used in the movie. Whereas I think that like just sing along songs, I think Lion King has a better one.
Oh yeah.
But Hercules' theme, I'd rather listen to than any of the songs from Lion King.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So that was Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, I really missed the boat on a lot of, I guess, family style movies like that, like Lion King, all the Disney stuff and stuff like that.
I mean,
so.
we know this. Like Chris was, as soon as he could, he walked
was
himself over
jamming
to
out
Walmart,
to,
got some corn.
Yep.
He went, bum, da, dang, bum, ba, ding, a, da.
And like naturally,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start buying their coffee too.
Yeah. I mean,
Next time we do this, we're gonna say it over some nice
Corn coffee.
Corn coffee.
I mean, they've got to have a flavor that's like Freak Unleashed or
But
something.
you know what? You know what though? This would be like I always end up going to 1 or 2 white elephant parties a year. around
Okay,
Christmas.
yeah, I would totally
I'm gonna get this for a
some
white
corn
elephant.
some corn
because
coffee.
everybody would be like, "What the
fuck?
fuck is this?"
And then
You think it would, like you made it?
Yeah, because imagine being the person who ends up with that one. You're
Just
just
be like,
what?
"Fucking great."
what's crazy is my mom
Taste
would
of Jonathan
probably end
Davis
up with-
dread in here.
but that would be a good marker to see if it's actually good, because my mom would be like, just say it like it is.
Don't show her the package though. Like just like bring it in like some
Nah.
like airtight jar and be like, "Mom,
This is a really special roast.
Yeah, this is really good.
It's a whiff of Dreadlock.
it's like HED special." Like,
Yep. But so let's see. It's my turn to pick a movie now.
oh yeah.
And so I was thinking about it. I was like, okay. I was thinking about a German movie, but I was like, nah. Don't want to do that anymore.
I put the kibosh on that.
Yeah. And
Sadly,
but you have special reason to
I've been like thinking. I had this movie picked before Yojimbo,
right.
and I just had to pick it at the right time.
Right.
So
So we're gonna let Chris activate his trap card, so to speak.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to.
Yeah, I mean,
You got to. But I was thinking, okay, well, what can we do? I was like, you know what? It's the month of October, right? Mm-hmm. Candy apples and razor blades. Halloween.
nice. Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, horror movie, right? And I was thinking, okay, decades, subgenres, going through it all. I was like, okay, well, let's not do maybe another black and white movie. We did 2 black and white movies recently. We just did a movie from the 2000s. Before that, my movie was from the 70s. Before that, we did a movie from the 60s. So, okay, 90s. And this is a movie I have not seen.
Oh,
Ooh,
cool.
And so I want to do a double thing of watching a movie I've wanted to watch and haven't got to, and that I'm interested in. And I believe it came out around 94 or 95, starring Sam Neill. Mm-hmm. It's called At the Mouth of Madness.
Ooh.
Okay?
That's an H.P. Lovecraft story.
It is an adaptation
Yeah.
of H.P. Lovecraft. At the Mountains of Madness.
Yeah.
Is the H.P. Lovecraft story.
Oh, okay.
So this one's At the Mouth of Madness. And it's not the only 90s horror movie with cosmic horror starring Sam Neill.
Oh, my favorite.
The one, Event Horizon?
Oh no, I just like the subgenre itself. I think it's fascinating.
Okay, yeah. Ooh, and but yeah, so
Another reason why you need to watch True Detective season 1.
Okay, yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Man. I watched it again recently, and I picked up on so many things that I just.
Well, I don't see how it can be better than season 2.
Well,
That's true.
I can give you
I agree.
pretty much any reason.
I've seen both, and I agree with you, Art.
Thank you.
I mean, season 1 didn't even have
Walking on some thin ice here.
didn't even have Vince Vaughn. Come on.
Vince Vaughn.
Vince fucking.
He monologued about a stain.
Yeah,
for like
he looked up at the
10
fucking
minutes.
ceiling and saw a Rorschach stain and was like, oh. Oh. And then, like, went into some dumb monologue.
That's a pretty good impression, though.
Thanks.
But,
The Mouth of Madness.
yeah, At the Mouth of Madness, starring Sam Neill. Man, I wish I had looked up if it was easy to get. If not, I'll pay for
We'll
it.
find it.
Yeah,
We're
Get you
resourceful.
for guys. But, yeah. It's a movie I haven't seen that I've wanted to watch. And like I said, Sam Neill, he also had another movie a few years later called Event Horizon, which is a sci-fi kind of cosmic horror as well. And that Event Horizon, like this movie, were not beloved by critics when it came out. So they both sit at a Metacritic score of like 50 or something. However, Event Horizon more so, but both have had considerable followings and respect. I don't know if you know this, but critics, one of their real weak points is horror movies.
Yeah.
Like genre movies. Let's say genre, sci-fi, horror. They don't get it. You know, they're often way out of, line. They, but I don't know. Now they do a lot of lip service though. Like Ex Machina would not have been popular before, but that's also because maybe the critics now are people who grew up liking and respecting genre films, whereas if you were a genre film in the 90s and 80s critically, you were really going, against the grain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super excited to watch it. Do you guys know anything about H.P. Lovecraft?
Well, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Have y'all read any of his
I played
works?
Bloodborne.
You played Bloodborne?
Yeah. I beat it.
Well, what I was gonna bring up is a large theme of the first season of True. I'm not gonna spoil anything because I know eventually you're gonna sit down and watch it.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's
A large theme.
I might
is
watch it on the plane.
Hey, that'd be a good idea. Stop. They're going after this. I guess you could just say villain.
Yeah,
And-
I saw the first
and
episode.
He's often referred to as the King in Yellow.
Yes.
Or the Yellow King or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I dove into some research about what is that even referring to?
Yeah.
And basically, there was this collection of short stories all revolving around a play called The King in Yellow. And this collection of short stories is a book I actually bought called The King in Yellow. And it's just like vignettes about how this play makes people insane.
Yeah.
And so I've been reading that recently. I haven't gotten all the way through it, but yeah, I love the genre. I think it's absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to drawing connections between all this stuff like Bloodborne and King in Yellow.
Like I said, what got me into it is I was recently rereading The Shadow Over Innsmouth.
Yeah.
It's a short story by H.P. Lovecraft published in Weird Tales. And it is so fucking good and ageless. I recommend anybody read it, right? If you're like me, you just get swept up. He does this thing where he also does a pseudo history of the town, of this New England town.
Yeah.
And it's so rich and real, and it's like it could have been written last year.
Yeah.
It is fantastic.
See, that's what's holding me up about The King in Yellow. It was written by a guy, I think Robert W. Chambers, something like that, and he was before H.P. Lovecraft. So everything he does is super understated and not really pushing anything too far.
Yeah.
But in a way, it kind of lets you craft your own story around it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to really getting into something that's a little more trying to think of the word, out there and
Yeah, me too.
It was this or a movie called From Beyond, which was an 80s Lovecraftian movie with some of the craziest practical effects ever. It was the team from The Thing.
Oh, awesome.
So maybe
that's a
thing
good
we can
reviewed
check out
horror
future.
movie.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Oh my god, I just figured out what movie I'm picking.
What?
The New
I can't
Thing
tell you, yeah.
with
No, not that one.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
No.
Damn, you beat
Maybe.
me to it.
Actually, no, because it probably won't be Halloween in time for me for next time that I come around, right?
No, I mean I'll be back on the 17th.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks.
Yeah, we got a week or two.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, by the time you go, I don't know.
We could also expedite one of our rounds. Like, we could just go a week for mine. Or a week for this one if we
No,
want.
it's fine. It's fine.
All right.
We'll figure it out.
I can totally throw this movie out the fucking window because I haven't seen it, but I know enough about it.
Or we could do a double feature.
Ooh.
Do a jumbo episode.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
Make a Halloween episode?
Yeah.
That could happen. Do you guys like Halloween?
Halloween's alright.
I always think I'm gonna go hard, and I never do.
It's kind of how I feel about it, too.
Like every year, I'm like, Every year I've wanted to dress up as like Prince, and then he died. Because
he died every year.
Because like I have like wavy hair
Uh-huh.
and the same like skin complexion, and I can grow like a mustache real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
never
got to do it. And I'm a tiny man too, so.
Yeah, but he was like...
Yeah, he was really tiny.
He was like 3'6".
Yeah.
But that cat could ball.
I like Halloween. Fine. I don't like candy.
Yeah, I don't
like candy.
Or chocolate or anything.
I like
Reese's peanut butter cups. Everybody's got something they like. What do you got?
Sure.
Mine's Reese's. Reese's cup.
I like gummy worms. I think gummy worms are good. I don't like chocolate.
I don't like hard
I'm
candy.
not big on it. You know what's really good? Famous Amos cookies.
What is that?
Yeah,
really?
the ones that come in like
the
that
really
bag,
small
right?
ones?
The ones that come in that. Oh wait, no, they're like the kind of like brown bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good. I like Famous Amos. At first, I thought you were talking about a Pepperidge Farm. And those are good.
I'll take some with me. Find some. All right,
Famous Amos.
all right, you guys. The movie is
Mouth of Madness.
At the Mouth of Madness, starring Sam Neill
And Neil Diamond.
and Neil Diamond
Wait, what? Okay.
and Sam Spade
And Sam Smith.
and Sam Smith. Check it out.
And Stan Smith.
All right. Well, pour yourself a nice cup of corn coffee. Sit back, relax. Take it all in.
What do you think a disturbed energy drink would be called?
Indestructible.